Hello everyone, welcome to the Incarnation Fallacy. My name is Amin and Assalamu alaikum. Today we will be talking about the Christian doctrine of the Incarnation, and I will be showcasing, starting from the premises of this very same doctrine, that it's incoherent and logically flawed. Let us see how. So, first of all, let us go through some definitions. What do we mean by the incarnation? When it comes to Christian theology, incarnation is the belief that the person of the Trinity, known as God the Son, or the Logos, simply Jesus Christ, became flesh, became human, took on a human nature. Because keep in mind that technically, in Christian theology, Jesus Christ is believed to be divine in nature, eternally part of a triune God, of which divine essence is shared by the three persons of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So you have God the Son, one of the persons of God, becoming human, okay, by being conceived in the womb of Mary during the process of salvation, which by default gets called Mother of God. How does this happen, and what happens to the divine nature of Jesus when he becomes human? This is explained by the Christian principle of hypostatic union. Hypostatic union is a term used to describe how God the Son took on a human nature, yet remained fully God at the same time. So we have Jesus Christ being truly God and truly man at the same time during the process of salvation. Yet keep in mind and notice that we do not want to misrepresent the Christian doctrine here. The two natures, the human and the divine, do not get mixed. Okay? He is fully God and at the same time fully man. The interaction and how we can predicate of Jesus Christ as God or of him as man is furthermore, how can I say, explored in a additional Christological principle, which is that of the communicatio idiomatum. To better understand the communicatio idiomatum, I will give you an example before giving you the definition. If I was to ask a Christian friend, and before asking the question, give him a couple of propositions and see if he agrees to that, the first proposition would be: here you have Jesus Christ, the carpenter of Nazareth, and he's walking down the street heading to the market to buy some water and some bread for himself and his mother so that they can eat and drink and feed themselves. Would you agree to this? I'm pretty sure that our Christian friend would agree with us and with this proposition on the very same basis that the first premise of the hypostatic union says that he is fully man. And if I was then to say, here is God going down the street heading to the market to fetch some water and some bread so that he can eat and his mother can eat and they can feed themselves, would you agree to this? I'd say I'm pretty sure that again our Christian friend would agree with us in this proposition, because on the basis of the hypostatic union, Jesus Christ is believed to be fully God. Going back to the Christological principle of communicatio idiomatum, which translated in English means communication of attributes, this principle means that the properties of both natures, the human and the divine, are now properties of the person of Christ. This is why we can talk about Christ during his ministry on earth as a man, and at the same time we can talk of him as a God. Now, given this explanatory introduction, let us go back and verify our very first claim. So keep in mind that the hypostatic union premises state that Jesus Christ is fully man and at the same time fully God, and that we could predicate of him attributes of humanity and divinity, as we have seen in the communication of attributes. So let us see what does it mean to be fully God by the classical theistic definition of it. To be fully God, it means that you manifest divine attributes, which are a manifestation of a divine essence. Um, some of them are to be infinite, are to be omnipotent, and, for example, omniscient. God knows everything. He is all knowing according to the classical accounts of classical theism, and He's omnipotent. Excuse me, and He's infinite. Now let us see some of the attributes which make of us humans. To be a human means that you are finite because we have our limits. We are not infinite, we are not limitless, we are not, in fact, all powerful. We are very weak. There are some things that we cannot do as humans, and we're not all knowing. We have limited brains, we have a limited capability of processing data, and so on and so forth. Now, these opposing and contradicting attributes are ascribed to the same person, that of Jesus Christ, meaning that we could predicate about Jesus Christ one attribute and its negation in the same time, in the same sense, at the same time. We could say about Jesus Christ that He, as God, is infinite. He does not have any limit. And we could say about this very same person at the same time that He is limited. Okay? Even if the true natures, the divine and the godly one, do not mix, there is a clear contradiction in having one person to which two contradicting natures are ascribed at the same time. We could talk about Him as being omnipotent, all powerful, and at the same time we could talk about Him not being all powerful at all. We could talk about Him, Jesus Christ, and say that He is omniscient, that He knows everything, every true proposition there is to know. That's Him. And at the same time, we could say, well, He does not know everything. I mean, if it's not clear by now, let us state it. The Christological principle of the Incarnation, and specifically the Hypostatic Union, which explains the dynamics of it, are a logical contradiction, because in logic, the law of non-contradiction states that contradictory propositions, such as being finite and infinite, or such as being all-knowing and not all-knowing, cannot both be true in the same sense at the same time. This brings us to our conclusion, which, therefore, the hypostatic Christian doctrine is logically invalid and should be dismissed as a nonsensical narrative and conception of God. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
Full Metal Alchemist.